Hi everyone, and welcome to Shlime Reviews. I'm Shlime, and in this video, I will be reviewing Parakeet slimes. But first, if you're new to my channel, I want to again say welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoy this content. And now for our Shlime fam shoutouts. There are two of you, Ajit Kumar and Agnes Joy V. Bartolotta. Thank you so much for all the support, and if you'd like a shout out like this, comment down below #ShlimeFam. And with that, let's get into this review. This package got here in 4 days after ordering, which is extremely fast. I was so impressed. I paid $66.77 for 5 7-ounce slimes. I also had a 20% off code from Instagram. This is a highly requested review, so I'm very excited to check out this shop for the first time. And this is unfortunately not fall themed. I know we're in October right now, so I do apologize that this is a bit out of season, or really not with the season, but you know what I mean. This came in a big priority mailbox, and when I opened the box, I saw their cute business card along with some Skittles and a bunch of packing peanuts. The business card also has care instructions, which I do appreciate, and I also appreciate the little candy, which was very kind. This shop does seem to reuse bubble wrap along with cardboard to pack the slimes, which I do appreciate because they recycle, which you really don't see with a lot of shops. They also included a wristband with Parakeet slimes written on it, and I will be wearing the wristband throughout this review. I thought that was a really cute touch. I love when slime shops include stuff like that. All of the slimes did arrive safely. They were in very durable containers. And their logo is seriously cute. I love burbs, and these were very burby. One thing I do want to point out is that the labeling on 3 of the slimes were at the bottom of the container. 2 slimes had the labeling on the side of the container, so I don't know if that's a new thing that they're phasing out, but it was definitely worth mentioning because I did think some slimes didn't have the labeling for a second. And the 5 slimes that I ordered are Tropical Smoothie Bowl, Birthday Cake Cereal Milk, Blue Raspberry Nerd's Rope, Rose Quartz Geode, and the last slime is Cereal Milk Cookie, which is a do-it-yourself clay slime. I am again so excited to try out this shop for the first time. I've had a lot of requests for this, and it has been way overdue. Also, as a reminder, I saved the ASMR till the end of the video, but feel free to use the chapters to skip around as you'd like. And with that, let's open these slimes. The first slime we're going to look at is Birthday Cake Milk. I paid $12.49 for a 7-ounce size. Whenever this shop was brought up, I was highly recommended a thick and glossy texture, which is exactly what this is. It is a very glossy and thick texture. It's also scented as birthday cake, which is absolutely delicious. It's such a sweet, amazing scent, and I love it. I also love the light yellow color. It gives off the aesthetic of a type of birthday cake mix. And there was a ton of colorful plastic sprinkles at the bottom. What I love about the add-ins is, for one, they just really pop off the texture with the coloring. And when you start to mix it throughout the slime, it creates a type of texture. Like, you could just really feel all of the sprinkles because of how many were added into this. And I really love that part. It just made this more of a unique thick and glossy. This is also very, very thick and very glossy. I just was not disappointed with this. It gives awesome finger pokes, very loud bubble pops, it gets super clicky, and it also gives a great stretch. It really doesn't tear. This slime also needed 0 activator while I was playing with it. This does inflate a lot, and even with the inflation, this does not become tacky. I was very impressed with this texture. The fact that it was just so thick but wouldn't tear was just very high quality to me. Like, they just really knew what they were doing with this. Because this does inflate a lot, you will need a spare container for the extra slime, but this was seriously just one of my top favorites from the order. I will say that because this is hard for me to put away just with the texture and scent. They complement each other greatly, and even as this is inflated, it still remains very glossy, and I just can't get over how good this one was. I'm grateful that so many recommended this texture to me, and I highly recommend this texture also to anyone who hasn't tried it already. So for Birthday Cake Milk, that is a beautiful 10 out of 10 slime. The next slime we're going to look at is Blue Raspberry Nerd's Rope. I paid $13.99 for a 7-ounce size, and this is a blue clear slime with a bunch of colorful Floam beads at the top. If anyone's had a nerd's rope, it's basically just like this slime. It just looks a lot like it, but more of like a rope shape. One thing about this slime that I noticed is that the clear base wasn't fully cleared up yet. There was still a decent amount of bubbles in it, but for the most part it was clear. I just think maybe the shop should have waited a tiny bit longer to pack this up, but that's just being a bit nitpicky. I love all of the colorful Floam beads added into this though. It really just complements off of the theme very well, and it just pops off of the clear slime very well. This is scented as Blue Gummy, which is exactly what it smells like. I will say Parakeet Slimes has very high quality scents. This is a delicious scent that makes me kind of want to eat it, but I can't. When I went to poke this slime, it was very fun to see all of the colorful Floam beads shine through the clear base. This slime gives very loud bubble pops and just lovely finger pokes. One thing I did kind of notice though is that this slime is a little bit tacky. Like I just felt like it kept wanting to try to stick to me, but it wasn't like super bad, but it was just something to mention because I did activate this slime quite a bit thinking that maybe it was just from shipping, but I do believe that's just how this slime is because I did kind of overactivate this a little bit while filming, and that sticky feeling just remained the same. It didn't go away, and even after I pulled this out a week later, once I activated it well, it still wanted to remain a little bit tacky, so I think that that's just something to do with their slime recipe, and it's not awful, but it is definitely something to mention. Again though, I can't get over the aesthetic. The color is very, very beautiful, and there was also 0 bead fallout. This does inflate a little bit, so you will need a spare container for the extra slime, but yeah, overall this did just, again, remain a bit sticky throughout all of it, and I do recommend it, but maybe just to not someone who's a beginner because it can be a little tricky to work with. So for Blue Raspberry Nerd's Rope, just because it wasn't fully clear and it did remain tacky, I am going to fault this slime a little bit, so this is going to get a 7 out of 10 Shlime. The next slime we're going to look at is Rose Quartz Geode. I paid $12.99 for a 7-ounce size, and this is a Bingsu bead texture, and it's also unscented to preserve its clarity. I was very excited to try this slime because of the aesthetic. It is absolutely beautiful. The fact that this is themed around a Rose Quartz Geode is just perfect. The aesthetic is on point. The Bingsu beads also give a beautiful iridescent glow. But one thing that did happen to me for the first time is this Bingsu texture wanted to immediately have the beads sticking to my finger, which led me to believe that this did not have enough slime in it because there were just so many loose beads on top. But I cannot lie and say that this is not beautiful because my goodness, I just couldn't get over the look of it really. And this is truly unscented. I don't smell anything from this. The ASMR is also amazing. Any crunchy texture really is just so satisfying. But I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed with this slime. And I do remember this selling out very quickly at their shop because I ordered right when they dropped a new slime drop, and this sold out very quickly, but this really had too much beads in it. In my opinion, it did not want to fluff up correctly. It continuously kept trying to tear, and I did activate it a tiniest little bit just to see if that would help, but it did not. This slime does not inflate, so you won't need a spare container, although I'm really unsure if this was just a bad batch. I've never had a Bingsu slime with this many beads compared to slime, so this was a first for me. It's hard to say if I just got the last bit of what they were packing, but I still feel like they should have possibly just added more slime. I know I keep saying that, but I was very honestly disappointed with the texture itself. Granted, it is beautiful and the ASMR is just so fantastic, but I was very sad, and so I did reach out to the shop and I emailed them, letting them know my experience. And I will say the shop got back to me very quickly. I want to say it was the next day I got a response. They were very apologetic about the tearing, and I believe I was speaking to Marissa's mom. And I guess she spoke to Marissa and they suggested putting a little bit of activator on this, so I tried the activator one more time, but it really didn't work out. And another thing mentioned in the email is that if I don't like this slime, I may return it it to them, which I'm not trying to have a problem with this shop, but it's contradicting to the policy on their website, which clearly states that all sales are final and that returns are not accepted due to the nature of their product, which is totally understandable. This is a used slime. I wasn't going to plan on returning it. It takes a lot of effort to want to do that. So I did tell them about the activator not working and just how I was a little confused about the returning since it was on their policy that that wasn't allowed technically. They responded to my second email very quickly, and it was honestly a confusing response. They said, "We always try to help our customers if the reasoning is reasonable. We want all our customers to be happy. I'm sorry that the activator suggestion didn't work out." And that's where they left it, and I honestly didn't know what to respond back at that point, so I really just let it go. But I am very disappointed that they didn't really help me, and I'm kind of sad that this sold out quickly because it just leads me to believe that a lot of other folks ordered this and possibly had the same experience. And I'm not trying to ask for free slime or a discount code, but it was surprising that they sort of just brushed it off in my opinion. I didn't really get help properly with this. And I just was very disappointed because out of all the slimes, I was really looking forward to this one. It looked so beautiful, and I just love a good crunchy Bingsu texture, and it was not fluffy like a Bingsu texture should be. And it's almost like the slime itself just wasn't really thick enough. I don't know a lot about making slime. I just know that this recipe wasn't what I was used to. This also remains constantly tacky. Like, it just continuously wanted to stick to me even when I did add that little bit of activator. I don't know. I'm really sad about this slime, and I want to say to check out a crunchy slime from them, but at the same time, I did not have a good experience with their crunchy slime, so as of now, I do not recommend a Bingsu texture. So for Rose Quartz Geode, I am very unhappy with this. I've said it like 5 times probably now, but I'm unhappy. The only reason why I'm going to be somewhat lenient is because it's pretty and the ASMR is good, but this, unhappy. So this is going to get a 4 out of 10 Shlime. The next slime we're going to look at is Tropical Smoothie Bowl. I paid $13.80 for a 7-ounce size, and this is an icy texture, scented as blueberry and acai berries. This also has granola sprinkles, which are like these plastic yellow bits, and multiple fruit charms, and they all pop off of the blue color beautifully. The granola add-ins were my favorite just because the colors complement each other very well. The aesthetic is just beautiful, and this scent is amazing. It makes my mouth water. It just is so delicious. This is a wet icy texture, and it is ultra sizzly. I love the sizzles it makes. I have not had a lot of wet icy textures. I really only ever had the one from Obsidian. And just based off of Slime Obsidian's wet ices, this one left a little bit more film on my hands. Like, it just had a slippery residue that was left on my hands, and also there was a lot of residue left in the container it was in. Now, just comparing this to Slime Obsidian's wet ices, that usually would happen after about a week or 2 of owning it. So I wasn't really expecting that, but you know, it is not really a problem. The only problem really is that my table wanted to have the slime stick because I have a very lightly textured table and this is an instant snow slime, so it causes the slime to want to stick to the surface. And just so you know, I am working on having this not happen anymore. But regardless, the color of this slime is gorgeous. The charms are bulky though, and they're a bit sharp. So I wouldn't really recommend playing with those in the slime. And typically I like to have the charms next to the slime when I film to make it cute, but the slime was really hard to clean off of the charms, so I just kind of left it be. But the charms are still such a cute touch for the theme, and they're very colorful for the slime as well. But yeah, because my table was being a bit finicky with this slime, I mostly just filmed it as hand play, and I do apologize, I am working on that. This slime does not inflate, so you will not need a spare container. And this also is a little hard to have it fully form when it stretches. You have to stretch it slowly for it to fluff up better. But regardless, this was actually a very good icy texture, if you like wet ices anyway, which I do. This was my second shop I've ordered from that makes these. This gives good light finger pokes and light bubble pops. And overall, if you don't mind a wet icy texture, I definitely recommend trying one from this shop. So for tropical smoothie bowl, just because there was a decent amount of residue left in the container and on my hands, and the charms weren't very safe to play in the slime and they're very difficult to clean off of the slime, I am gonna fault it for those two reasons. So this is gonna get an 8 out of 10 slime. The last slime we're gonna look at in this review is Cereal Milk Cookie, which is a do-it-yourself kit. I paid $14.80 for a 7-ounce size, and this comes with a creamy, buttery base, a clay cookie, and 2 Fruit Loop charms. I love the add-ins in the butter base because they really look like little fruity Pebbles cereal, which is perfect for the theme. The base is also scented as Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, and Captain Crunch cereal milk, which honestly, I don't think I'm smelling Captain Crunch, but I definitely smell the Fruit Loops and the Fruity Pebbles. It's just a very strong fruity cereal scent and I love it. It is delicious. It makes my mouth water. I want to eat it, but I can't. The base was like an off-white color. It was very beautiful. It was absolutely creamy and it didn't need any activating. It gave good finger pokes and it was so easy to stretch. It was just so soft. I loved it, honestly, just by itself. Like if I just got this slime, I would have been happy with it without the clay piece. And gave some good light bubble pops. I was just so addicted to playing with the base alone, but I did put it back in the container and took out the clay piece, which resembles the cookie. And this cookie clay piece was just the clay. I am supposed to take a little bit of the base of the slime to put on top like a frosting. It was fun to assemble this myself. Luckily, I knew what I was doing. If you didn't see it on Instagram, it might have been a little confusing to decorate it, but that's why I just recommend being on Instagram to see how some of these DIYs are constructed sometimes. And the little Fruit Loop charms were adorable. They were just small little plastic charms. And when the cookie was all decorated, it looked very realistic, especially with the scent. I had to keep telling myself I could not eat it. Once it was all put together, it just looked adorable. And when I finally got to mixing, the clay piece was very soft and smooth. It went into the texture just beautifully. And I read that when this is fully mixed, it becomes a 11 to 12 ounce size, which is definitely true. This becomes very inflatable and very sizzly the more it is mixed together and inflated. The clay piece made the creamy base a lot more thicker. And just, again, very inflatable. This slime didn't need any activator at all. Even when it was inflated, it was not at all tacky. This is a perfect slime for beginners. And I was just very impressed because when I was filming, I forgot to put the activator next to me and I thought I was going to be in trouble, but no, this slime didn't need it at all. It was just perfect. When it's fully mixed, it does become a light brown color and is just so sizzly the more it is fluffed up. I am just in love with the sizzles. The scent alone already made me love this slime, and then it just becomes that much more amazing once the clay piece is added. It kind of reminds me more of like a thick sleigh slime. One thing to note is that it does tear a tiny bit if I stretch it too quickly, but as long as I go at a decent slow pace, it was not a problem. The Fruit Loop charms are also very easy to remove from the slime, and although they are a hard plastic, they didn't hurt my hands at all because they weren't sharp and there was just a ton of slime, so it wasn't a problem. I love when slime shops use deli containers for the clay pieces because they are just so nifty for all of the inflation afterward. And I just was so impressed that this wasn't tacky. It just really fluffs up beautifully. And I highly recommend this slime to anyone who likes clay slimes, especially inflatable sizzly slimes, because this will not disappoint you. This was easily my favorite from the order. So for Cereal Milk Cookie, that is a beautiful 10 out of 10 slime. Thank you so much for watching my video, and check out more Parakeet slimes. I will have a link down below to their shop and Instagram. Overall, I was very impressed with the slimes that I liked, but I am curious if anyone else had the experiences I had with the slimes that I did have some issues with. Just comment down below because I would love to hear what you think, and I would also just love to try the shop out again in the future because they really did blow me away with some of their textures. Also, if you're curious, I'm on Instagram too, and TikTok, so follow me if you'd like to see slime, and just slime. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.